What is up, my podcast listeners? This is your lovely host, Presale List, and I am not in my car. I am doing a full-on solo episode. No, what's it called? Compilation episode today. And for those who are watching, you will notice that the camera will move as I move because I am playing around with my new stabilizer, and it has one of those features where if I move really quick, it's going to follow me. So enjoy that kind of tracking. It's kind of new to me and kind of weird, but yeah, kind of fun. Anyway, today what I want to get into, since today is December 1st, 2021 is basically over. And if you're like me, the last 2 years have really been a shit show, to be honest. And I feel like everyone, not only did they feel the effects of COVID on their physical health, their mental health, their spiritual health, their financial health, just every facet of life, really. And, regardless of that, I think everyone had some sort of breaking point and either push them into a position where it was either sink or swim. And depending on where you kind of fell in, either your life kind of got a little bit better and is now starting to, come together and you can see the light at the end of the tunnel, or things have been very slow for you and you're just like trying to, day by day take it. But what I'm trying to do in this episode is kind of give you that little push of motivation. And yes, my show's called Cut the Shit, Get Fit, and I want everyone to be successful with their health. And this time every year, I always do an episode of, 2019, here we go, 2020, here we go, 2021, here we go. And here we are about to hit, 2022, and it is time to start reflecting and planning. And you know me, if you've been following my work for a while, I plan my entire year every October. And one is a lot of it is just brainstorm sessions of what I want to accomplish in the upcoming year. And then when November hits, I start really finding out those details. And by December, I'm like, here's my game plan and here's what I want to achieve. And I want to influence all of you listening or watching me right now as this camera moves, to really sit down and reflect this past year and really think about what went terrible. And I'm leaning more towards your fitness and health, but all the other stuff that maybe didn't go your way or planned is part of the process and part of your success. And what went really well. When we have those two things, we now have the time to, figure out what we're going to do in this upcoming year. And I think, this whole idea of finally finding success in fitness and health is always going to be an ongoing issue for everyone. So for example, for me, 2020 was a shit year for training, like just terrible. And the only reason why I continued training, like, to put it in perspective, like I didn't even touch a weight for, at least a good 7 or 8 months. And I was only not really forced, but I had to exercise because during COVID, when everything was shut down, I had to build my, brick and mortar gym and clinic business into an online platform. So I taught Kinstretch classes every single day. And how I teach Kinstretch is I actually do it with you. So then you have, someone to follow. So for 5 days a week, I was doing Kinstretch. And if I didn't do that, like I wouldn't do anything, honestly. I would maybe walk my dog. And that's about it, Because even for myself as a fitness professional, COVID disrupted my life completely. And then, this past year, I really got back on the saddle, the horse of exercising or moving my body every day. But I wanted to do something that was more realistic to me and also, helped me progress on my business ventures, because like I'm an entrepreneur by heart. I'm always doing something, aka my book is about to release, Ironclad Body Training System Volume 2. That was a weird thing that my camera did there, but I needed something to fit my lifestyle. And I think this is what people need to really focus on in 2022, is finding workouts and a time frame that works with your lifestyle. So for me personally, in order for me to exercise every single day, I decided to do shorter workouts. Like literally right before I did this video, like I checked my watch of how long my workout was. It was 23 minutes. But in that 23 minutes, I accomplished 220 single arm swings and 100 dumbbell rows. 2 exercises, back to back, minimal rest, and I'm like literally sweating. And just a 10-minute warm up. All I did. Right? I got through it quick, but one, I feel better because even earlier today I was in a business course sitting all fucking day. And after my lunch break, that's when my energy dropped. I was like, holy shit, I am not paying attention. And I was like, I had no intention of working out, but I'm like, you know what, I just gotta fucking do it. And now I feel great. I have so much more energy, and I was like, look, I gotta do my podcast, so here we are. But that was the biggest game changer for this year for me, is finding workouts that fit my schedule, because I took on a lot this year, a lot. And realistically, a full hour every day is probably not going to happen, because when I physically walk into my clinic to work, it's back-to-back appointments, back-to-back meetings, back-to-back clients, whatever it is, and I barely have time to literally sit on my computer and be like, okay, let's answer emails. It's more like I'm going to answer emails for 5 minutes, and now I'm going to go to the next thing. Let's finish this program really quick and then go on to the next thing. And then the next morning, I'm like, okay, now I'm going to catch up on everything, right? So I had to be realistic with me. And I think, what COVID kind of showed us is that, one, we had to adapt in every facet of life, of how your work is, how your kid's school schedule is, how we commute, how we live every single day. But none of us really adapted how we work out during this pandemic and the recovery process of it. Some people just were like, fuck it, I'm not doing anything, but I'm going to continue consuming fitness content, which is so funny, but I guess we do that with food too. We watch so many videos on TikTok or whatever you use for social media to watch cooking things, and you never ever cook it, but you're like, oh yeah, that looks good, one day I'll do it. But anyway, that's beside the point. So my challenge for you guys is that for 2022, make sure that you create realistic goals, but also finding ways for workouts to fit your lifestyle, because that needs to change, just like how this whole world got disrupted and it had to adapt to it. The ones who didn't adapt ended up going out of business or went through a spiral of a lot of mental health stuff. So if we don't adapt, we're not going to survive. Our bodies are meant to adapt to the stresses we put on it. So why not do the same thing with our exercise routine? So like I said, I exercise every single day, but it's not a full hour. It's not me going balls to the wall every single time. It's me finding what works in my schedule. And sometimes I have to flop my workouts. Ideally, yeah, it would be great to do a Monday to Friday. This day is this day, this day is this day. But sometimes I'm like, shit, I have a really busy day tomorrow. I'm only going to do my 23-minute workout today, like I did today. And then tomorrow I'm going to do my kin stretch. That's 45 minutes. But even actually earlier this week when I did my first kin stretch workout, I was running late, had to deal with some shit in the morning. And then I was like, you know what? I have 32 minutes that I can get a kin stretch in. Let's just hammer out as much as I can. Right? It doesn't have to be perfect. And I think that's going to be kind of the mantra for 2022 for me, and I think a lot of people listening, is 2022 doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be enough. It just has to be okay, and being okay with that. And I think if we change our mindset to something like that, things are just going to brighten up really quick. Because if you have the expectation that every week has to be a perfect week in the gym and eating and everything like that, your motivation is going to go down pretty quick. Whereas, hey, I have 20 minutes today that I can exercise, fucking do it. If it's you walking your dog a little bit longer, if it's you starting to walk your dog longer, if it's, again, I don't know, doing air squats and like arm swings in between Zoom meetings, fucking do it. Like anything. You going to the gym and just literally doing 3 sets of 10 of like, I don't know, T-Rex rows, push-ups, and goblet squats, like that's better than nothing. It's enough. It's enough. And imagine if you just did enough for a full year straight compared to the last 2 years that we've had. You're going to see huge success. It doesn't like mean that you're not doing enough in your expectations of what success is. It's just doing a little bit to put you in the right direction. 2022 should be the year of refocus, rebuilding, and restarting, and building new habits that are going to form where you're going to improve your health, right? Like a lot of the stuff that we do in the gym, at home, whatever it is for exercise, it not only like strengthens our joints and, you know, helps our cardiovascular health, but it also helps up here. Like the mental clarity I get from exercise, it's unreal. If I didn't have exercise, I would not be as successful as I am in business at all, in my relationships, in everyday life, how I perceive the world, how I take in this environment that I'm in. So my challenge to you is that for 2022, just do enough, do minimal, and do that every single day. And it's going to look different for every single person. And I guarantee you things are going to change and you're going to crush it. And for those people that are already doing this, add 10% more. Just like you going to the gym hoping that you're going to add another 5 pounds to your deadlift, it's just those small increments that are going to make a huge difference. So I'm going to end it there, short and sweet. Hopefully this kind of gave you a little push in the right direction. And if you need any help, feel free to reach out and hit the show notes, add me on Facebook, add me on Instagram, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've been posting a lot on there. And hit the show notes to put your name down for my new ebook on the presale list. So I'm going to be releasing it next month. And if you want premier access to it, you want to get the book before anybody else, if you put your name on this presale list, you will get a personal email from me with the link before anyone else, and you can snag that book. It's going to be a monster of a book. Over 100,000 words. You got programs that are long enough for 4 months, and you got full-on can stretch classes that you follow along with me that I recorded, and that is literally going to be a game changer for a lot of you, and I'm super excited for you guys to try it out. That's it for me, you guys. Until next time, thank you so much for all of the support since day one, since yesterday, since last month, or whenever you started consuming my content. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. You guys are awesome.